book is gonna change your life, and this is not a clickbait video. Hi, I'm Prachi Sharma, and today I'm gonna share all the secrets of the para method that will help you organize your life like never before. To be honest, I was a procrastinator. I couldn't keep up with any schedule, I couldn't organize my stuff. But after using the para method, this has changed. Every method I used to use for organization used to last me about a week or so. But now, after this, it has lasted me few more than a few weeks, to be honest, and I'm loving it. So let's dive in deep into this para method. So the para method is a concept that is being coined by Tiago Forte, the author of The Second Brain and the book itself, The Para Method. He is one of the organization and the productivity coaches who has worked with a lot of organizations, which has helped to increase their productivity, their management system. So there are four key parts, four key elements to this organization method that will help you organize your personal life as well as your professional life. And as a person who is an expert in digital clutter, who likes to hoard every link that she has read, I believe it has helped me immensely. So let's dive. Organization method has four pillars. P, which stands for project, A, which stands for area, R, which stands for resources, and last but not the least, A, which stands for archival. So we will deep down into each of the concept, which is projects, areas, resources, and archival with example. So what are projects? Projects are your short-term goals which are relevant to you. The area of responsibility which is very short-term. For example, this year I have set down some goals which I want to achieve, and I've divided all those goals into four types of projects. So I have a quarterly project for each of the goal, which will be depending on each quarter. If I want to pursue this in particular quarter or not, I have divided into mini projects, so that way it is very easy for me to accomplish those goals, and it will keep me track of the progress of each of the goals and the milestones that I hit. So project is anything that you work on a short term basis. So example, in my work life, any as a data analyst, usually have projects, right? So there are various projects which I'm working on right now, and there are various projects which I may be working in afterwards. So what I do is all those short term areas I assign it to a folder which is known as projects. So that help me know which projects I'm currently working on, and if there are any other projects that are organized in another folder which we will be talking on later, right? Coming on to areas. Now, these areas are your long term, broad horizon responsibility sets. These are something which will not accomplish in a short period of a time, but you need to oversee across. The best example which they have given in the book is about some certain set of responsibilities when you have in the office. They never gets over, that never gets over, you have to look into time to time. So those areas will be categorized into areas rather than projects. So for instance, for me, I have categorized my life into 12 key areas. So some of the most important key areas being health, then work, then travel, etc. So these 12 key areas are not something which will be focus for this year. This will be the focus of my entire life period. So that I have categorized into a proper Notion page as areas where I track in my progress, where I look into what kind of goals I will have and what kind of results I seek. But these are not something that I can tick off right right in the start. For example, finances. You can't tick off finances in an year. It's a lifelong process. You may change your strategy, you may diversify your portfolio, but this is a long term oversee horizon kind of a goal. So that set of responsibilities which you need to oversee over the period of time, that you can categorize into areas. So coming on to resources. Resources is one of my favorite part of this organization pillar. Why? Because As a person who likes to read, who likes to learn a lot, who likes to refer to articles, who like to do her research before entering into any domain, or who like to bookmark all those courses that I want to pursue, this section has immense love. I love organizing this section. So, what does this resource entails? So, for instance, a huge shout out to Amy Landino. Because of her, I was able to go through this book and I was able to read it and identify. So, she gives an example. For example, a recipe that you want to refer to maybe later on in life, any moment in time, maybe it can be in next week, it can be next month, or it can be next year also. But a recipe which you find interesting and you want to try, you will always put it under a resource folder, right? Similarly, what I do in my resource folder is I list down all those courses or skills or book summaries which I read. I link down all those things into my resources so that if I want to identify what I want to do or what I want to refer to, I can click down and it's very easy for me to go through quickly and without any thinking and thought process. I can go and dive into each section and identify what I want and how I want it. Last but not the least is the archival, and it's an amazing, amazing, amazing pillar of the organization. Anything which is inactive is going to be in your archival folder or in your archival area perhaps, or in your archival list. So what I do is, anything which I don't understand, which I don't want to delete, first of all, I don't want to delete, I want it to be accessible in future, I will put it into my archival folder, archival area. I have a designated corner in an almirah where I place things which I really don't need at the moment, but I have just placed it for the sake of I don't want to throw it away. And those are not your memories. Don't mix your memories with archival. No, those are things which I might need in future, but I don't have a certain timeline to it. So yeah, those archival. And one of the best things which I liked when I started off with this system in my workplace was, so what I did was, when I started reading this book, he said everything you have as of now, you can place it into archival and place a date on it. For instance, I started organizing one folder of mine in the workplace, and that was I think so 20th December 2024, and I dated it, placed it in archival, and later on I created the folders as per requirement. So project came in, then resources came in, and after some time areas folder was generated. So my point is that archival is not a bad thing. It gives you a beginning point to start off your organization altogether. And it was so liberating, and it was so easy for me to start at that point and implement this system. And that is the beauty of it. That at any point in time you can you can place everything in your archival folder or in your archival area and start categorizing it into is this is the thing that I need to refer to in long term or in short term, or this is the thing which will be a critical resource for me. So using these four pillars, I personally have organized my entire life sheet. What are my goals, what are my projects, what is something that I want to refer to, what courses I want to do, and what are the things I don't require in near future but I won't like to delete. As a person, organization is really hard. Like, take an example for me. Organization is tough nowadays because you have various things and life happens and you get lost in the system itself. System is something that shouldn't require your energy. It should be very simplified. So this method has empowered me to become an organized person who can follow through what goals I wanted to revisit or what areas I wanted to refer to. And this book has changed me, and it's not sponsored. I really like this book, and I believe and I wish that you guys should also read this book. This book has power. to change your life. Highly, highly recommended. And although it talks about digital clutter, I think so it's very much you can implement it in your day-to-day life to become an organized person. And we all use digital tools anyway, so this will definitely help you out in, you know, becoming an organized person. This is how you can become an organized person. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.